lay down and cool down. Slobber. And we're outside for about 10 minutes. I had to let him back in. It's like 90 degrees outside, so don't want to leave him out there too long. So we'll come down in the basement to cool down because it's nice and cool down here. So what's going on, everybody? Fellow humans and resellers. It is I, James, readoptionagency.com. 20 plus years selling on eBay. Pretty damn good sales today. We're 8 hours past the last video. So in 8 hours, got 26 orders and about 55 items. Adrian did a little pulling for me, plus I've got more to do, including one big order that just came in. Looked like from my same guy who's been ordering a lot of those just normal hats from me, which is cool. Love seeing that because I've got tons of them in storage, as you've seen in the one video. Hats galore, hats galore. Anyway, I just listed, got done finishing up that long box, CD long box project over here. So I got all of them listed. And off of those shelves and onto those, nice, neat, organized, beautiful, if you will, if you ask me. I got a full free one there I can take advantage of, along with one here. And I got a couple more of those in that room that I can find a place for after I get this room finished. So now I can continue growing my tea boxes there. So that's going to be cool. I got 2 more big shelves, 2 more of those shelves left. When I went and bought them, I went to Menards and they had 5 left. And I bought 5 of those and then one smaller one for this next project. And I'm like, man, this ain't gonna fit in the car. Jan went with me. She was shopping around the store. I called her on the phone. I go, I'm gonna go try to get this stuff in the car. I'm not sure it's gonna fit. So I checked out and went out to the car. And the last one I had to take apart and start wedging in empty spots. And I had some of the mail totes in there too. And I'm like, because I forgot to take them out. So I had to put them in Jan's seat. And I called her and she's like, why don't you just run home and drop them off and come back and get me? I'm shopping anyway. So I'm like, good. So I had to come home, empty the car, and go back and get her. But that's all they had. So I got to wait till they get more in to finish the project. So I got 2 more. I don't want to start this one until I get at least 3, because all that's going to have to come down. And then I can start reusing these, taking these Z totes down and turn them into the boxes so I can get more space per area. And then I have to find a place to use those that will be a nice, will not waste of space. Maybe on something like, these areas here on the end caps, if you will. So I have to figure that out on where I want to use those, where they'll be nice and snug somewhere, not a lot of extra space wasted. So I might take the other 2 and get these cheap shelves taken down, get those replaced. So this is sitting better because this already had fallen once because of these cheap shelves. So, and then I got to do something with my overstocks too. I might convert my overstocks into boxes and move them over here. I'm not sure yet because I don't think I want to I guess I could use them and top them off when I turn them into boxes. So then maybe I'll make that shelf overstock, OV. It's going to be just OV. It originally started for overstock, where if I was listing items and I saw I had one in the store, I'd add quantity and put it in one of these totes, OVs. So maybe I'll make OVs there, then next to the CSs. And maybe I'll just do that. Be nice and easy. And then I got a bunch of junk in there too, just stuff to resell. So I need to actually clear that out before I block it off again. Get that stuff out of there so I can get it listed and what have you. So yeah, nice little project going on. So, and then I got the one shelf here so far. I only bought one. So if it works out, I can squeeze one more at least in here. And to get the rest of these file boxes over onto those. Nice and neat. And I still need to get some better shelving in here, I think, too. At least I don't have to worry about that anytime soon anyway. So that's the next projects. So He's looking at you. All right, so let's go ahead and get this stuff shipped. We got a Blues game tonight. Series tied 2-2. So I'm curious to see how we're going to respond tonight. If we're going to play our style of hockey or if we're just going to succumb to the Wild like we did in games 2 and 3. Not very good games. So, all right, let's go. All right, we're going to start with Eddie Raven. Is that guy who goes, I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night. When the da-da-da-da. Something, I don't know. Anyway, sold for $4, headed to Gainesville, Florida. Johnny Lee, cassette, sold for $10, headed to Granville, Michigan. All right, next up we got Selena soundtrack. It's crazy how she died, right? What was it? Her, some girl she hired to, some fan, big fan of hers, hired to be like her, what was it, a fan club manager or whatever, ended up killing her. Pretty sad. Just kind of shows you that you can't always extend olive branches to people, especially if you know nothing about them. No matter, how dedicated they seem to you. Actually, the people that are most dedicated are probably the most craziest, and you never know. Anyway, this sold for $14, headed to Norway. That was one of the things I always watched out for when I was growing up. I don't know where I learned it from or just instincts, but whenever I started, like when I met a girl or whatever and started seeing her or whatever, if she seemed like her whole life was going to revolve around me, like she was just, for lack of a better term, worshiping me, like I was everything, I'm like, you know what? I got out as quick as I could. As soon as I noticed tendencies like that, I'm like, I'm out. Because I wanted somebody who had their own life, or at least had their own, well-being together. I mean, knowing what they wanted to do, had their own directions, strong-minded. I know a lot of guys didn't like that, especially back then, didn't like a woman or a girl who was strong-minded, who had her own thing going, because there's a lot of insecurities. And I stayed away from that. I didn't want no insecure girl who her life was going to revolve around me, because I knew that wasn't going to end well. So stay away from people like that. If it's all nice to have somebody who loves you and cares about you and will do anything for you, but if they seem like, their life is going to revolve around you and what you do and how you do things, get the hell out quick. All right, we got these kids' Air Jordans, sold for $17, headed to Denver, Colorado. All right, we got an import version of Bryan Adams, So Far, So Good, So What. I got my first real 6-string, bought it at a 5 and dime, played it till my fingers bled, was the summer of '69. Me and some guys from... Okay, I'll stop. But, I don't really... Now that I'm looking at this, man, Bryan Adams is kind of underrated to me. Like, I never really think much about him, but he's got some good songs. Run to You, that's a hell of a good song. Cuts Like a Knife, of course. Kids Wanna Rock. Anyway, sold for $10 because it's an import version. You can tell by that extended barcode. And it may say where it was... Made in RSA. I'm not even sure what RSA stands for. Anyway, sold for $10, going to El Paso, Texas. Are you ready for a U2 light? Yeah. All right, we got U2, U2, U2. And speaking of overrated or underrated with Bryan Adams, to me, U2 is way overrated. Never been a fan of U2. Never understood why they were so big. 'Cause, music does nothing for me personally. But that's all right, because that's why everybody's got different tastes. Life would be pretty damn boring if everybody liked the same damn thing. All right, so this is going to Bristol, Connecticut, and sold for $15. So are you ready for a 45 lot? Yeah. All right, taking advantage of my clearance, buy 2 or more, get 50% off, $7.50 for all 3 of these. Going to Los Angeles. This is another like group that I kind of got respect for, but I never really got into. Maybe I'd really need to, but all I've ever heard was the hits, so. Like, I got total respect, especially Daryl Hall. But, anyway, Daryl Hall, and then we got Ray Parker Jr., Ghostbusters, and Robert Tepper. And going to Los Angeles, $7.50. Now, are you ready for a CD lot? Yeah. All right, we got 9 CDs here, sold for $57, headed to Cincinnati, Ohio. We got, hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. We got Gloria, Miss Estefan, if you will. Don't let this moment end. Smash Mouth, promo singles, regular single, or actually an import single. Tracy Chapman, when you drive a fast car. Anytime I hear that song, I think of, you guys know of, if you're old enough anyway, you know Living Color. And they did a skit one time with Tracy Chapman writing the song Fast Car. I think that was on in Living Color, wasn't it? Hey, you drive a fast car. I don't think it was Saturday Night Live. I think it was in Living Color that skit was on. Rhythmics, Miss Annie Lennox. Rhythmics. The one and only, the great Lionel Richie. Boom. And these are promo singles also. So $57. Very nice. All right. Mark Northey and the Finheads live at Keys. All right now. I picked this. I can remember this getting a lot of these used generic ones. These were either when Warehouse Musics went out of business and I went in and cleaned them out at 10 cents a pop, or this was, and it's looking like, I think this is from when they would do a clearance at $0.25 a disc, because I remember them all having that 25-cent sales sticker on it. But anyway, sold for $17.50, headed to Columbus, Georgia. Right. Robert Plant, heaven knows, take an eye for an eye, heaven knows. I never really got into Led Zeppelin either. I like hard rock and metal, but I've never got into Led Zeppelin. A little bit before my time. Just never got into them. Anyway, Ship of Fools. I think that was a good song, if I remember. Tall, Cool One. I love that song. Tall, Cool One. I need to go put that on my Spotify playlist. Anyway, Now and Zen. Sold for $5. Headed to Travis City, Michigan. And that is where Marty has his winery and/or his wind turbine company, right? Marty from Curse of Oak Island. Marty Lagina. Yeah. I'd like to know on Curse of Oak Island, like, their financials. Like, because you know they're spending big money on that island, right? I mean, it's probably $1 million just to put a canister down. Well, maybe not $1 million, but maybe 250,000. Say they spent $1 million just on canisters last year. Wonder how much money they make from the TV show with maybe the shirts and stuff that they sell, because they're always selling out of that stuff, I've noticed online, plus the tours they give. So I'm curious to see if they lose money or they're actually making money. And I'm sure either way it doesn't matter, because it's a cool experience for him and his brother, something they always did with kids. And if Marty's running all, that wind turbine, I think he had money, did like Craig or whatever, they did like drilling for oil and stuff. So I'm sure that whatever company they're running, the wind turbine and or the oil drill thing, I'm sure they got money to spare left and right. And that's what started the whole funding and buying the island, I'm sure. But I'm curious now to see if that endeavor is profitable just because of the interest on TV and the tours and what have you. So, curiosity. Am I talking too much? Oh, I'm talking about everything today, but that's all right. You're just going to have to deal with it, man. Because I talk about what's on my mind. St. Louis Cardinals. Sold for $6. Staying in the area, headed to Richmond Heights. All right, now somebody got a deal here. Some Air Max. Make sure these aren't popped. Whenever you find Air Max, squeeze them. Make sure they're kind of stiff. And if they just go right in, chances are they are popped. Do not buy them. All right, some women's Air Max sold for $20. Headed to Pomona, California. Good thing I got my LP mailers today. That's my old one, because I only got like 10 of those left. So I cut it a little close. You got to know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. You never... I think that's the only song I could sing off that. Anyway, this was another one. I guess the third one of my new price point of $7.99. Taking it down to $5.60 with my sale. I'm pricing everything to be into that 30%, so I can keep that 30% off sale going, because that seems like a sweet spot. If you guys did that over the weekend, I know one person so far said they tried it and it actually helped increase their sales. So if you tried that, you know, if you ran a sale before, but you never did 30% and you tried it at 30%, let me know how it worked out for you. Because I'm pricing everything now that I list expecting to keep that 30% sale going, especially after, you know, next month when eBay starts taking more for the promoted fees, because I'm going to have to drop my percentage down on that. So we'll see how sales drop after I do that. So kind of worried about it. But $5.60, headed to Goose Creek, South Carolina. We got little hummingbirds. How cute. Visor sold for $6, headed to Alexandria, Los Angeles. No, not LA is not Los Angeles. It is Louisiana. I got a question for you. You think you're a reseller? You think you're a reseller? Look here. You ain't no reseller unless you can sell a hat like this. That somebody designed their own little thing on there on the Leukemia Society Light the Night Walk, and somebody did a little spiffy art job on there, made it their own, and I still sold it because you know why? Because I'm a freaking reseller, man. That's what I do. There ain't nothing I can't sell. That's going to be my title of my video, I guess. You know you're a reseller if you can sell this. Boom. Oh. All right, sold for $9, headed to San Mateo, something, California. Mateo. Pew, pew, pew. All right, we got this pretty pink and white Nike visor. Sold for $7.50, headed to Salem, Indiana. I love what I do. Just thought I'd share that with you. I love freaking reselling on eBay. Love it, love it, love it. All right, Titleist hat sold for $10, headed to Jonestown, Pennsylvania. All right. Just sold one of these the other day. Just put this one up yesterday, and it sold already. Sold for $8, headed to Bloomington, Minnesota. And if you're new to the video, so I don't have to answer the question, these prices do not include the shipping that I charge. Yep. As Lonnie would say, shipping on top. Alrighty, United Away. Been in the store over 2 years. Sold for $8, headed to Laredo, Texas. I don't know why I like that word so much, Laredo. Just a cool little word, Laredo. Table Mountain, Cape Town. I don't know where that is. I should look that up. It sounds like a name, like if we were on a guide trip and we were flying down the highway and we saw that, it'd be like, hey, let's go see what that is. Sold for $6.50, headed to Hawaii. Nice. All right, the matching Old Fart red trucker hat sold a while ago. Finally sold the Old Fart's wife trucker hat. Sold for $6, headed to Castro Valley, California. A new viewer asked what's up with the couch. It used to sit down here, normal side, but kind of ran out of room for that to lay down. So for it to take up less room, I just threw it on its side, and that's how it's storing. Why I haven't moved it out of here and taking it to storage is because getting through here, I would have to basically take this apart, move it over, because that's some heavy ass shelving. I might be able to scoot it over, get my little slide things to put underneath. So I have to move this over, and I think I measured it, and I'm not sure if it fits through here or not. Because I remember it going, no, I ain't messing with it. Because if it was just this one, I'd probably go ahead and do it. So it might have been that one also. I don't know. But then, of course, I'd have to move this too, which isn't, you know, would be a day's project. I get the boys to carry it out of here, but I would have to move that. And I just haven't got to that yet. It's probably eventually going to happen because there's really nowhere to put it. So, and I could put some shelving right there where it is. So once I get to that, it'll probably move out of here. But right now I'm working on that other room, my west wing. And when I get to there, and then the next project is that room. So to finish up those shelvings that collapsed. So then I will start tightening up over here more and more. So we'll get there. We get there eventually. All right, we got Manchester United, soccer, football, and a Budweiser hat sold for $7. Headed to Sarasota, Florida. Helen Reddy ear candy cassette sold for $6. Headed to Friday Harbor, Washington. All righty, the KOA Campgrounds of America. Got 2 of these. I think I got them at the Honey Hole, 50 cents a piece. Sold for $10.50. Headed to San Jose, California. Alrighty. Webb Silver Company. I think I got these at the Honey Hole. Paid, I think, $2 for them or something like that. These like baby ducky spoon and fork set. The bear going up into the tree to get the beehive. I think I paid $2 for them. 2 or 3, I would think. Sold for $14. Headed to Dutton, Virginia. Now's your favorite part of the video where we go over to the West Wing. Yes. Because we're snooty. We are posh. We're stuck up. We're socias. We don't interact with the likes of the lower class who don't have their own West Wing. All right, there's only one item over here that I got to pull, but I am also going to I'm sure some of my big order is going to be over here, so I got to pull. See, I got a 15-piece order, so I'm going to go through that to see what's over here. But first, going to Tennessee, we've got a little Willie Nelson, Redheaded Stranger, part of that 400-piece vinyl set I bought. And this one sold for $20. Biggity bam. Are you ready for a pain in the ass hat lot? Yeah. Some of these have been sitting in my store so long, they're at the bottom of the tote. So it took me forever to pull these things. Good Lord. And one I can't even find. I've looked everywhere for that thing. I have no idea where it's at. Anyway, so 15 hats minus the one. Sold for $93.50. Headed to New Jersey, to a port, it appears, to go overseas. Got an electric hat, St. Louis Italian Open, ask for EDAA, Plains, Morrow Motors, Buyers Lumber, Team Missouri Hockey, Dole, U.S. Open, Canyon, Mogul, Coils, pain, exactly, pain in my back, and telephone installers. And that's the crazy thing. I helped move furniture Saturday. I rode my bike 2 days in a row. Been moving boxes left and right, thinking all that something was going to jack up my back. And apparently, I just did it somehow within the last half hour, I guess, pulling off one of the top totes. And my back's like, screw you. That's it. I am done. So now my back's hurting. So I'm going to have to kind of make sure I watch how I bend over and how I pick things up the rest of the evening and probably tomorrow. Pain in the booty hole. Pain in the back hole. All right, I'm going to get those shipped off, and we're at 7:30 now, hockey game. Pre-game starts in a half hour, so I'm probably going to be done for this evening, so this should be this evening's video. So not bad at all. Nice little sales for the day. Yeah, pretty cool. Happy, happy, happy. So that is all. Hey, what are you guys doing in here like that? Hey, look, it's a vern. Let's get you guys sticking out so you can be seen. There we go. Dress the place up a little bit more. That's what I've been trying to do. Like, these shoes are hanging up. These have been hanging up for forever, but they're mismatched sizes, like 9, 9.5, or something like that. 8, 8.5, who knows? But anyway, what's up, baby girl? All right, that's it. Thanks everybody for watching, and I don't think I got anything more to say. Nothing more comes to mind. So we shall see you in the next video. Later.